Everybody, welcome back to my channel. I have a fun, energizing mandala flow today. If you have never done one of my mandala flows, it means we are moving all the way around the mat. It's really nice and fun, gives us a new perspective. We get to kind of move our bodies and get some energy, open our hearts, and really explore your strength and your mobility. A couple announcements before we get started. Today, this class will be my last class of 2022. I have gotten a lot of new followers on this channel this year, and I am so grateful for all of you. I will be taking a little step back from YouTube for a little bit because I will be filming for another aspect of my website where I'm going to be doing actual class series where people can actually subscribe, pay, and then have access to those classes. And I'm going to do a beginner and intermediate and then a more advanced set. So I need to really kind of focus my efforts on filming for those. This has been in my head for a long time. And then I will be right back here to provide you guys with more free yoga. I certainly do not want to take away from the exciting, the opportunity to provide free yoga and a platform where I can make it accessible for a lot of people. But I also want to make sure that I'm providing a service that's authentic to me and authentic to you as a yogi and knowing where you are in your yoga practice. And so that's what that's going to be. So I will be back, don't you worry, and I'm excited to see what this next chapter holds. So we are going to go ahead and get started. I just wanted to make that quick announcement, and let's just go ahead and start sitting at the front of your mat. Option to sit up on a block or just grounding down your sitting bones through the earth. Allow your hands to rest gently on your knees or your thighs. Float your eyes closed. And just start to settle into your practice. Whatever came before this and whatever comes after does not serve you in this practice. So really take this moment, this next hour, to really focus your energy and your mind on you, what you're feeling, on your breath. Take note of the thoughts that try and creep in, but gently push them away and note that this is your time, your self-care. Start to deepen your inhales and your exhales. Elongating your inhales and your exhales so that they're of equal length. Keeping your shoulders down away from your ears, keeping the inhales and exhales almost in a horizontal fashion, your chest and your belly expanding out, but not lifting your shoulders. And in that, your spine grows a little bit longer. Take a moment to scan your body, noticing any tight areas or places where you might be feeling like you need to send your breath, and send it there. Gather your hands in front of your heart, pressing your thumbs into your sternum. Again, melting your shoulder blades away from your ears. Your elbows are relaxed. And maybe take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. Keeping in mind your intention can be spiritual, physical, or both, or just mental, emotional. So many ways that you can set an intention. Make it yours and make it authentic to you. We'll take one clearing breath and then one silent om. Take a big inhale, fill up your lungs, and then open your mouth, sigh it out. One more breath in, followed by a silent om. As you slowly exhale, constrict the back of your throat. Hear the vibration of your om in your body throughout your tissues. And then float your eyes open. Roll up over hands and knees, coming to tabletop position. We're starting to get some movement. Start to inhale through your cow and your cat. Exhale to round your spine, cat pose. Taking any movements out of this just general movement, whatever your body needs. Maybe you move side to side, maybe your head makes little circles. Whatever you need to achieve your intention tonight. Whatever your movements are, just make them whole movements. Take them to where you see them going. You've shown up on your mat, you've gotten here, that's half the work. Now commit to really honor your body and get into those spaces that might need it a little bit more. On your next inhale, come to a neutral spine. And then exhale, press back to child's pose. Send your hips back to your heels, reach your arms forward. Allow your head to rest on the earth. Know that child's pose is always available to you throughout your practice. You do not need my permission. Honor your body. If you become breathless or you lose sight of your breath, you lose sight of your intention, come into child pose. Either pause the video or meet us wherever you left off. Walk your hands over to the right side of your mat, stacking your left hand on top of your right. Notice if your left hip lifted a little bit, and then sit it back onto your heel, or reaching towards your heel if it doesn't quite reach. Breathe into your left side body. And then walking through center, walk your hands over to the left side of your mat, stacking your right hand on top of your left. Pressing that right sitting bone down towards the mat. And breathing into your right side body. And then coming back through center, roll yourself up, tuck your toes, send your hips high, downward facing dog. Again, pedaling out your dog, bending one knee, then the other, taking any movement side to side out of this little square of your mat, rectangle of your mat, if you will. And then find stillness in your dog. Your downward facing dog is meant as a resting pose. However, it is a strong resting pose. You're pressing the floor away. You're pressing evenly through each finger, not just dumping into the heel of your hand, but using the pads of your fingers. Weight bearing through the index finger, thumb, middle finger, ring finger, and pinky edge. Engaging your shoulder blades, pulling your low belly in, your low ribs knitting in, and then pressing your heels down towards the floor. Inhale, rise up on your tippy toes, look to your hands, and then exhale, walk your feet all the way up to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale, lengthen your spine, reach your tailbone back, reach the crown of your head forward, and then forward fold. Exhale, bend your knees, chest to thighs, take opposite elbows and hang in the ragdoll pose. Your knees are bent a lot. You're letting your lower back warm up, maybe swaying side to side. And then come to center, release your hands. Slowly roll all the way up to standing. Coming up to mountain pose, roll your shoulder blades behind your back, palms face forward. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, hands down in front of your heart. Take a moment, close your eyes. Take away that fifth sense, your sight, your vision. Notice how that heightens the sensation of your feet on the floor, the sounds you're hearing. Maybe even the temperature on your skin. Open your eyes. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your palms, step back to plank. Lower chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, rise to your tippy toes, lift to your hands. Exhale, step or float your feet to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise, come all the way up to standing, arms reach overhead, keeping it moving forward, fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, plant your palms, step or float back, and move through chaturanga on your exhale. Upward facing dog on your inhale. Downward facing dog, press your hips high. Exhale. Inhale, rise up to your tippy toes, up to your hands. Exhale, step or float your feet to the front of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise, all the way up to standing, palms reach overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Rise up to your tippy toes, inhale. Exhale, float to the front of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Fold forward, exhale. Root to rise, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Half lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. One more time, inhale, rise up to your tippy toes. Exhale, hands to the front of your mat, feet to the front of your mat. Halfway lift, inhale. Fold it forward, exhale. Root to rise, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Rise on your tippy toes, look to your hands. Step or float to the front of your mat, exhale. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Root to rise, inhale, come all the way up to standing. Heel toe your feet in towards each other, big toes come to touch, maybe a little sliver of space between your heels. On with your arms reaching, sit down in a chair from mountain pose. Sink your hips, sink them back. Keep pulling your knees back so that you can see the very tips of your toes with your peripheral vision. Energy through your arms. Low belly is pulling in, low ribs are pulling in. Sit a little bit deeper. One more big breath in. And then exhale, hands come through heart center, fold forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Right leg steps between your palms. Spin your left heel down. Inhale, come up to warrior one. Arms are reaching. Build muscle memory here. Right knee stacked over the right ankle. Hips are pulling towards the front of the room. Your shoulders are square. Your weight is in the heel of your right foot. You're grounding down through the outer edge of your left foot. Your low belly is in. One more big inhale. Maybe you gaze up at your thumbs. Exhale, hands frame your foot. Chaturanga. Lower down. Upward facing. Inhale, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Exhale, downward facing dog. Left foot steps between your palms. Warrior one, inhale. Holding this first warrior one. Talk yourself through the same alignment points you did on that other side. You know where you should be. Trust yourself. One more inhale, gaze up to your thumbs. Exhale, hands frame your foot, chaturanga, lower down. Upward facing dog, squeeze those shoulder blades back, wide collarbone. Downward facing dog, exhale. Rise up on your tippy toes, inhale. Exhale, step or float to the front of your mat. Half lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale, one breath this time, sit deep. Then fold it forward, exhale. Half lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Right foot steps right through. And you inhale, warrior one. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Left foot steps between your next inhale, warrior one. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Inhale up to tippy toes, look to your front. Float to the front. Halfway lift, inhale. Forward fold, exhale. Chair pose, inhale, sit deep. Fold it forward, exhale. Half lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Right foot steps between. Inhale, warrior one. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Left foot steps between. Warrior one, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale, stay here. Breathe. Reestablish strength in your down dog. You're resting, but you're still working. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. All 5 toes pointing down towards the floor, wrapping that right hip, that outer hip down towards the earth. Using your core, using your hip strength. Inhale, can you lift it a little higher? Exhale, shift forward to plank, knee to nose. Inhale, 3-legged dog, right leg lifts. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, 3-legged plank. Then a 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, hold it here. See if you can't step that right foot right between your palms. Lower your left knee, keep your toes tucked. Inhale, low lunge. Whew. Arms are reaching. Sink your hips forward, but don't dump into your lower back. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands frame your right foot, shift your hips back, half split. Send your hips back back towards your left heel. Keep your chest lifted. Rebend your right foot. Bend your right knee. Plant your left hand inside your right foot. Lift your left knee and twist open to the right. Your chest and belly are reaching as close to that right thigh as you can. Your left leg is super, super strong. Sweep your right hand down and come up. Inhale, crescent lunge, staying in this forward lunge. We opened up that front of that hip, so your left leg should be as straight as you can make it, but keeping your hips square to the front. Take your hands to prayer. Reach the crown of your head forward. Reach out, reach out, reach out. And then take another twist, taking that left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Press palms towards the center. Strong back leg. Weight into that right foot, right heel, staying in your twist. Step your left foot up to meet your right for twisted chair. Check and make sure your knees are tracking even. Crown of your head reaching out over the front of your mat. One more breath here. Staying deep in your chair. Inhale, center, arms reach. Exhale, press up to standing heart. Hands come to heart center. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing. Inhale. Downward facing. Exhale. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Straight leg. Square hips. Using that core. See if you can lift your left heel up a little higher. Inhale. Exhale, shift forward to plank, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to nose, and then see if you can't set your left foot down right between your palms. Lower right knee down. Keep your toes tucked. Low lunge. Inhale. Sink your hips forward. Keep tucking that tailbone under. Your low back still has a curve to it, but you're not over extending here. Take an inhale. Exhale, hands frame your left foot. Shift your hips back. Standing, half split, not standing splits. Pull your hips both back straight towards the back of your mat, back edge of your mat. Flex your left foot a lot, lift your chest. Rebend your left knee. Plant your right hand inside your left foot. Lift your right knee and twist open to the left. Gaze up at your left thumb. Twisting, twisting, using the floor. Pulling your left hip back towards straight back towards the center of your mat. Float your left hand down to the floor, and on your inhale, come up, crescent lunge, your deep crescent lunge. Giant hip flexor stretch on that right foot. Take your hands to prayer. Take your crown of your head forward, reach out, make your spine as long as you can, and then take the twist. Right elbow to the outside of your left knee, palms to the center of your chest. Staying in your twist, weight into that left foot. Step your right foot up to meet it in twisted chair. Check and make sure your feet are even and your knees are tracking. And then see if you can't sit a little deeper. Maybe you can twist a little deeper. Staying deep in your chair, inhale, arms reach, come to center. And then exhale, press yourself up, hands come to heart center. Maybe you have to take a step back. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog. Inhale. Downward facing dog. Exhale. Moving into our mandala finally. Inhale, right leg lifts up to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot between your palms. Crescent lunge, inhale. Open it up, spin your left heel down. Warrior two. Establish a strong warrior position here. Right knee tracking over right ankle. Press your elbows, your shoulders down away from your ears. Try to see if you can't have that left foot with your toes pointing slightly forward. Believe it or not, that takes some of that strain out of your back hip. Flip your right palm, reverse your warrior, inhale. Exhale, right forearm to right thigh, extended side angle. Stay here up on your thigh. We have two opportunities. I want you to use this opportunity towards the front of your mat to use the right forearm to spin your chest a little bit higher. Maybe even gazing under that left armpit a little bit. On your next inhale, come back up, warrior two. Super strong legs, nothing changed in your legs, right? Straighten your right leg. Turn all 10 toes to face the left side of your mat, hands to hips. Inhale, and then forward fold. Wide leg forward fold, hands to the mat, a block. Allow your head to hang heavy. We're just gonna stay in this wide leg forward fold, finding a comfortable position, allowing your low back to release. Maybe spin your heels a little wider than your toes for a big outer hip stretch, outer ankle stretch. Take your hands underneath your face, press yourself to a flat back, and walk yourself over to the left. Turn your left toes towards the back of the mat, and then cartwheel your hands up, warrior two. Establish a strong warrior here. Maybe your right heel is a little further back than your right toes. Coming up onto your right toes, lift your heel, turn to the back of your mat, crescent lunge. Bend deep into that left leg. Cactus your arms, inhale, open your chest, gaze up. Exhale, hands frame your left foot. Step back, three-legged dog, left leg high. Shift forward to plank, keep your left leg floated. Chaturanga, exhale. Both feet down, inhale, upward facing. Downward facing dog, exhale. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Step forward. Come up, crescent lunge, inhale. Warrior two, open it up. Flip your right palm, inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, extended side angle, taking it as deep as you want it. You might have your forearm on your thigh. You might find the floor or a block inside that right foot. You might find half binds, full binds. We have time. Take your time here. Breathe. If you take the full bind, keep opening your chest. Keep lengthening. If you take the full bind and you want to take it into a bird of paradise, be my guest. I will not be today. That is not in my practice today. Release wherever you are. Sweep your left arm up over your ear and then pull yourself up. Warrior two, you're the deepest, widest warrior you've been. Straighten that right leg. Toes face the edge of your mat. Wide leg forward fold, take it down. When we do the other side, we'll take some extra curriculars in our forward fold. For now, just allow it to release. Maybe grab grab ankles or big toes to pull yourself deeper, or just allow yourself to get a little bit of a break. Press yourself up to a flat back. Turn your left toes forward. Spinning your right heel flat. Cartwheel your hands up. Warrior two, left leg is forward. Coming up onto your right toes, you're doing crescent lunge. Deep bend in your left knee. Cactus your arms, open your chest. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Step that left foot back, half plank, float that leg. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Guess what? We have the other side. Inhale your left leg up. Exhale, step it between your palms. Crescent lunge, inhale. Turn to the back of your mat. Well, for you guys, not the back. You're just turning to warrior two. I'm just talking about the room. I'm facing away from the camera right now. Strong warrior two. We're hanging here for a little bit. Check your alignment. Maybe your right heel is a little behind your right toes. Sink deep. Flip your left palm. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Exhale, left forearm to left thigh. Right arm sweeps up over your ear. Extended side angle, stay. Just focus on opening the chest, maybe peeking under that right arm. Bending deep in that left knee. Staying where you are with your legs. Inhale, warrior two. Straighten your left knee, turn toes to the edge. Forward fold. This is our third forward fold. Opportunities to play here or just stay in your forward fold. Maybe you want to get upside down. I will be going into a supported headstand. So I'm gonna find the length of my forearms, make a little basket, set my forehead, my crown of my head, and then shift my hips over my shoulders until my legs float up. If you're in headstand, you're pushing the floor away. You're engaging your core. You're trying to get as straight as you can. If you're in forward fold, maybe you take some twists. I'm coming out. Back to that straddle. Hands underneath your face. Inhale, flat back. Walk your hands to the right. Turn your right toes towards the back of your mat. And cartwheel your hands up, warrior two. Sweep your left arm down and around. Come up onto your left toes. You're in crescent lunge. Cactus your arms. Inhale, lift your chest. Then exhale, hands float down. Float your right foot back, art of plank. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Left leg lifts, inhale. Step between your palms, exhale. Crescent lunge, inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Flip your palm, inhale, reverse. Extended side angle. Exhale. Option to keep that forearm on your thigh or take it all the way down to the floor or a block. Option to play in half binds or full binds. Taking your time. There's no rush to get into any posture, especially on YouTube. You can always hit pause. That's something you can't do in a studio class. I love my home program. So if I don't feel like doing it, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna skip that. But don't skip this. Push yourself. Like I said at the beginning, you already chose to be here. Give yourself an opportunity to do it bigger. Coming out of wherever you are, inhale back. Warrior two. Straighten your left knee. Turn toes to the side of your mat. Forward fold. An option for other inversions. Maybe you take some side lunges. Maybe you just, again, hang in that forward fold. Enjoy the stretch. Enjoy the release. Maybe you take some twists. Hands underneath your face. Inhale, flat back. Walk your hands to the right. Turn your right toes forward. And then cartwheel your hands up. Warrior two. Sweep the left arm down and forward. Come up onto your left toes. Your right toes for crescent lunge. Inhale, cactus your arms, crack your heart open. Then exhale, hands float down. Step your right foot back to half plank. Chaturanga, exhale, lower down. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, step your right foot between your palms. Crescent lunge, inhale. Popping up onto that right foot, standing leg raise. Left knee lifts, left foot is flexed. With your arms still reaching tall, see how far out you can reach that left foot using your hip flexor. Then sweep it straight back, warrior three. Reaching arms straight out, and then energy through your left heel. Low belly in. Flattest back you can possibly make. Inhale, come on up. Standing leg raise, bring your left knee up and into your chest. Cross your left ankle over your right, hands to prayer. Sit down, half chair or figure four chair. Pressing your left knee straight down towards the floor. Reaching the sitting bones behind your right heel. Shift your knee back if you can. Relax your shoulders away from your ears. Press up back onto that right foot. Bring your left knee in line with your right. Take the inner sole of your left foot with your left hand. Right arm reaches up, dancer pose. Start to kick into that hand. Reach your right arm forward. Release that left foot. One more time. Actually, just set your left foot down for a second. Give your right leg a shake. If your calves are screaming, you're doing great. Inhale, sweep both arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. Left leg lifts, inhale. Step it between your palms, exhale. Crescent lunge, inhale. Ooh, we go to the other side. Standing leg raise, right leg lifts. Keep lifting your right leg up into your chest, arms reaching over. And then extend your knee. See if you can't leave that thigh as high as possible. And then slowly take that right leg back. Warrior 3. Standing leg raise. Right thigh into chest, knees bent. Then cross your right ankle over left, hands come to prayer. Half chair. Flex your right foot a lot. Keep your chest lifted. Standing back up. Line up your right knee with your left. Take the inner sole of your right foot with your right hand. Left arm reaches up. Dancer pose. Slowly come on out. Lower your right foot to the floor. Give that left ankle a shake. Both feet down. Inhale, sweep your arms up. Swan dive, forward fold. Halfway lift, inhale. Chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing, inhale. Downward facing, exhale. Inhale, right leg lifts. Exhale, step your right foot between your palms. Crescent lunge, inhale. Warrior 2, open up. Straighten your right knee, triangle pose. Reach it forward. Take your hand down to a block or the floor, or maybe your hand rests on your shin. Softness in your right knee. Stacking left shoulder over right. Gaze down at your right foot. Bend your right knee, half moon. Reach your right hand, front of your right foot to a block or the floor. Energy through that left foot. Slowly shift your gaze, either out straight off that left side of your mat, or maybe up at your thumb. Reach your left arm up and overhead. Turn to face your right leg. Step your flying foot back for crescent lunge. Inhale. Straighten your right leg. Pop your left foot up and in. Both toes pointing forward. Sweep your arms behind your back. Opposite elbows, or maybe you find reverse prayer. Elbows are wide. If you're in reverse prayer, you're pressing the palms of your hands towards each other. Firm your belly, pulling your right hip back in space. Bow forward for a floating pyramid pose first. It's using the strength of your back and the strength of your legs. Releasing your hands down to the floor, forward fold into a pyramid. Reaching the crown of your head down, making the back of your neck completely long and relaxed. Bending into that right leg, standing splits, left leg lifts. Lightness on your fingertips. Gaze back towards the back of your mat. Again, back of your neck is long. Left leg is reaching. Hips are trying to stay square. Maybe your hand finds an ankle. Reach your left leg a little higher. Float that flying leg back down to pyramid pose. Taking your hand on the inside of your right foot, your left hand to the inside of your right foot, or maybe the outside. Revolve your pyramid. Reach your right arm up. Keep pressing through that left heel, though you may need a little space and can come up on your toes a little bit. Reach your spine long. Crown of your head reaching out over the front of your mat. Float your right hand down to the mat. Plant your palms, swing your right leg up for a shortened three-legged dog. Flatten your palms. We have 3 kick switches. Slow kick switches. Try and make them as slow as you can. Maybe you find a little hang time. Once you finish 3, step back. Find plank. Hold plank. Lower chaturanga. Upward facing inhale. And downward facing exhale. Left foot lifts, inhale. Step it between, exhale. Warrior 2, inhale. Straighten your left knee. Find your triangle. Keep opening your chest up towards the sky or to the back side of your mat. Opposite side of your mat. I don't know what to call it. Maybe you can find that right thumb with your gaze. Slight bend in your left knee. Half moon. Reach that right leg out long. Lengthen your waist. Energy in your right foot. Maybe your gaze finds the side of your mat, or maybe it finds your right thumb. Take your time. Bending into that left knee a little bit. Both hands find the floor. Step your right foot down for pyramid pose. Right? Yeah. Coming up to standing. Is that what we did? Find your mudra in either reverse prayer or hands, fists pointing together. I don't know how we got into it last time. Elbows pointing away from each other. Chest is open. Bow over that left leg. Send your left hip crease back. And stay in this parallel pyramid pose for a moment. So much strength here. One more breath. Then release your hands down and fold forward. Release the back of your neck. Release your low belly. See if that brings you a little bit deeper. Softness in your left knee. Float your right foot up for standing splits. Check in with all the same alignment points you did before. Believe in yourself. Set your right foot down. Right hand to the inside or outside of your left foot. Rotate open to the left. Left arm reaches for revolved pyramid. Lengthen your spine. Crown of head reaching forward over the front edge of your mat. Then float that left hand down to the mat. Swing your left foot up and back. Shorten three-legged dog. Palms are flat. You have 3 kick switches. Slow. The slower you go, the more control you will have. Once you finish your 3, find plank and hold. Lower down, chaturanga, exhale. Upward facing dog, inhale. And downward facing dog, exhale. Walk your hands back a little bit wider than normal. And if you jump through or walk through, just get yourself to a seat at the front edge of your mat. Now jump through for me today. Legs go out in front. Feet are flexed. Inhale, sweep your arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Grab where you can. Once you land, inhale, lengthen your spine. And then fold it forward. Walk yourself up to a seated position and slowly roll all the way onto your back. Take the soles of your feet to your mat, lining heels and middle toe up with your sitting bones. One of 2 bridge poses. When you're ready, on your inhale, lift your hips. Maybe your hands find each other underneath and you shimmy your shoulder blades underneath a little bit. Press your forearms in, squeeze your knees together. If you have your hands clasped, release them and slowly lower yourself down to the mat. Windshield wipe your knees side to side, slowly and gently. Two of 2 bridge poses. Maybe you take another bridge, maybe you take a block under your sacrum, or maybe you find full wheel if that is in your practice. When you are ready, lift up on an inhale and take it wherever you want. Maybe in this second bridge or full wheel you find some playfulness. Maybe you lift one leg and then the other. And when you're ready, slowly coming on out, lower yourself down. Bring your feet wide on your mat this time and windshield wiper your knees one at a time. Take your knees into your chest, or maybe find happy baby. Cross your ankles, grab behind your thighs, rock and roll forward and back. Either rock and roll vinyasa, shooting back to chaturanga, or maybe you just rock it forward and move through the vinyasa, or just find downward facing dog. Inhale your right leg up to the sky. Exhale, take your right foot to your left wrist, setting up for pigeon on the right side. Shimmy yourself down. Peek back at your left foot, make sure it's coming straight out of your hip. Inhale, lift your chest. And then as you're ready, walk yourself into that folded position. Option to place a block under your right hip. Sometimes a block under your forehead feels nice. Allow this to be the time where you finally let go. Gently walk your hands back towards your right shin. Press through your palms, tuck your left toes, step back to downward facing dog. And when you're ready, left leg this. Send your left foot over towards your right wrist. Pigeon on the other side. Take your time. Again, just like in the extended side angle, take your time to get into it. There is no hurry. We are here for a good 10 breaths. So there is definitely no hurry. Allow your tissues to respond. And slowly walk to yourself. Uplift your chest. Come over onto your left hip. Swing your right foot around. Place it on the outside of your left knee. Ground down through your sitting bones. Notice you tried to lift that right hip up. Clasp around your shin. Lift your chest high. Untuck your tailbone and evenly press your shin into your hands and your hands into your shin. Feel that nice little counter stretch. It's a little less intense than a pigeon, but a great way to release that pelvic floor without such an intense stretch. Sometimes when you're doing intense stretches, your pelvic floor wants to clench to protect you, but you have to be able to release it as well. Reach your right arm behind you, hook that left elbow. Take a little twist over to the right, gaze over your right shoulder. And then slowly unwind. Lean back on your hands and switch. Take your right foot towards your left hip. Ground down through your sitting bones. Left foot on the outside of your right. Clasping around your shin. Lift your chest. Untuck your tail and press hands into shin and shin into hands. Oh, Lord. Lifting up high. Just breathing. And then releasing the press, reach your left hand behind your sacrum and twist over to the left, gazing over your left shoulder. Slowly unwinding. Take your feet out in front. Take a block with you as you lay down. If you don't have a block, that's okay, but if you do have a block, set it right underneath your sacrum like you're taking a restorative bridge. Release your your left leg out and take your right knee into your chest. Note that stretch in your left hip flexor. Bring your left knee up to meet your right. Big hug. Set that pelvis and then send your right leg out long. And then release that left foot down to the floor. Remove the block. One last little restorative stretch. Heel toe your feet out to the edges of your mat and allow your knees to fall inward towards each other. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. Just let gravity do the work here. And then wherever you are, heel toe your feet in towards each other and set yourself up for Shavasana. Shavasana can be any variation of Shavasana. Maybe you take your legs up over to a wall. Maybe you take your soles of your feet together and knees splay out, resting on blocks for Supta Baddha Konasana, or maybe you just take a traditional Shavasana. Wherever you land, take one big deep breath in, and then exhale, release everything out. Release the weight of your forearms, the weight of your pelvis and your shoulders, the weight of your legs. With every exhale, send that weight, that burden out until you feel like maybe you're just floating there. There is no earth. There is no mass. You just exist in space. Start to bring awareness back to your breath. Note yourself softly landing back on the earth as your chest presses into the earth and your chest lifts to fill your lungs and empty them. Start to bring awareness of where your body is pressing into the earth and where it does not touch. And slowly wiggle fingers and toes. Maybe rock your head gently side to side. Release your jaw. Release the space in between your eyebrows. And then gently take both knees into your chest and roll onto your right side. Remaining on your right side for a moment, allowing energy to equalize, giving yourself time to come back into the present moment, to go back to whatever you have waiting for you off your mat. Give yourself grace that you can't just always jump right back in. Give yourself time. Gently press yourself back up to a seated position, just as we started. Maybe you float your eyes closed. Maybe you gaze softly at the floor in front of you. Wherever you are, just try and remove all your senses and just be present in your body. Do you realize that you have been given exactly what you need just so that you may proceed with the spiritual lessons and growth that you alone need to master? Yes, life can be absolutely daunting, but you can have gratitude when you realize you have just what you need. Gratitude is the virtue that shifts our energy in order to facilitate our growth to the next level. Without the hankering for what we do not have, we allow ourselves to receive just what we need. Then we have and use just what we need, so we are prepared for greater gifts and gains on the inside. Gather your hands in front of your heart. If you set an intention at the beginning of your practice, take a moment to revisit that intention. Take one big, deep breath in. Open your mouth side out. We close with another silent Om. Inhale deeply into your breath, into your chest. And then constrict the back of your throat, making that silent Om in your mind as you exhale. Take the energy of that vibration of that last breath, that last exhale. Bring your thumbs to your third eye. Sealing your intention, sealing your practice, knowing that you have exactly what you need inside of you. The light in me sees and honors the light in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you guys. I hope that you enjoy practice today, and I will see you in 2023. Have a great holiday season, and feel free to share this with your friends, and I will definitely be reaching out when I am back on my YouTube channel.